Hello, my friends. In today's video, we are going to talk about FOMO and how we can avoid fear of missing out when we buy games. Stick around.
Live chill and video games.
So FOMO, the fear of missing out, is that fear we experience when we think we lost the opportunity to go to an event or to go to a party or to buy a game we wanted to buy. So you see most companies in digital stores for video games, they use this against us to make us buy games. So there's so many games that are video games that are nice and that are presented to us through ads or commercials, and we think we need to have them all, to experience them all. Like in like that Pokemon phrase was, like, you gotta catch them all. But we don't have the money to get them all. And even if we did, we didn't have the time to play them all. So we'll just end up hoarding them. So there's, has this is a very studied phenomenon in sales to make us buy games, to instill this FOMO in us. For example, Steam sales. Like, there's a statistic made that Steam players have a lot of games, like a lot of their library, like most 50% of their library is just games they bought on sales, but they didn't get to play. So it's more than 50% of their library. So why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this because the companies and Steam and other stores, they studied our psychology, and they're using this fear of missing out against us. So we feel that we'll miss that sale, that it will never come again. But that's not true. There's a saying that you don't save like a 50% sale. There's a saying, like, for example, in $80, you don't save $40, you spend $40. So there's $40 that you wouldn't have spent, but you end up spending it because of that sale, thinking that you are saving so much money, but instead you're spending money that you didn't want to spend. So I'm gonna talk about a few psychological tricks that we can learn for ourselves, so we can combat this FOMO that the companies are trying to instill in us. So the first thing to do is for Steam, if you're playing on Steam on PC, so you can set the Steam client to go to the library when you boot it up instead of the store.
So to make Steam go to the library instead of the store, instead of opening it up, you just go to open up Steam, go to Steam, go to settings, and then here find the interface tab, and then here on the startup location you just choose library instead of the store. And so the Steam, when you open it up, it will start in your library, not in the store.
This, of course, avoids a FOMO that will be instilled in us by seeing directly the saves on the screen. So seeing the saves on that upper bar, it gives us FOMO, like, I need to buy this game now, or I won't get the discount. But don't worry about that. There will be other Steam sales, and you'll buy the game you wanted to buy when you also have the time to play it. So that's the first thing. Set the Steam library. Set the Steam client to go to the library first instead of the store when you boot it up. The other thing is, on consoles, like, for example, on PlayStation, you can develop a habit to not go on the PlayStation store just to check out any deals there might be there. I've seen on the PlayStation 5 now they're showing in the menu, so when you when you scroll, they're showing some deals as well. But if you make a habit to go and just browse your library or go to the game you want to play, not scroll left 2 times, so just two clicks on the controller on the left side is such a big difference on you saving some money and and avoiding FOMO, just a small habit. But you see, 2 clicks on the controller, you go on the PlayStation store, then you see the sales, then you get the FOMO, and then you'll maybe end up spending some money that you didn't plan to spend. So make it a habit. Don't scroll left on the PlayStation Store or don't go on the Xbox Store. I don't know how it is on Xbox. I don't have an Xbox. Just go to the game you want to play. The other thing is don't make it a habit to go always on sites, on commercial sites, like eBay and other online stores. So don't go on eBay or other online stores like each day or every few days, because that will instill the FOMO in you about collectible things. I'm a bit of a collector myself, and especially the collecting things can instill that FOMO in you. For example, you don't get this game, you have it now, it's a rare game, but it's not a game that you wanted to buy. You'll just end up buying it because you found a good price for it, or maybe because it's rare and you think you won't get it anymore. But it's not such a problem. There's no urgency. If you didn't plan to play the game or buy the game, it makes no sense to buy it just because it's a bit rare. It's a version of it that it's rare or rarer now, or because it has a nice artwork. In the end, I kind of curate. I'm a bit of collector myself, but I kind of curated my collection. I used to have a lot of games in my shelf, that looked pretty and they were rare, but they didn't do anything like emotionally for me. Like even when I got the game from the shelf and looked at it, I didn't feel any emotional connection with that game. Some of the games I didn't even play, and I didn't had any plans to play them. So now I just collect things I like. For example, I'm a Resident Evil fan, so I collect all the Resident Evil games. I played all the series, but there's some spin-offs I didn't play. The Resident Evil Outbreak on the PlayStation I didn't play. I have the first one, File 1, but I have to get File 2 as well. So that's a game that I'm sure that I like the franchise and that I will get to play, even for those, there's not an urgency. You will, avoid any feeling of urgency you might have to buy a game. There's no need to buy a video game like right now, even if it's on a really good sale, or even if it's rare. You will buy it when you really want to play it. So yeah, don't make it a habit to go on eBay or to go on like another online shop you have like every day or every 2 days, because the shops have this studied as well. They have their own sales. They have their own psychological means to instill that fear of missing out in you, and then you'll end up buying things you didn't want to buy in the first place and spending your hard-earned money, and that's a bit of a bummer in today's economy. So another thing to consider is your collection. If you're a collector, I'm not. I'm a bit of a collector myself, as I said before. But just for me, that's if you want to. If that's your thing to collect rare things, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But if you want to, make a more meaningful collection for you, maybe, and save some money, you can just collect the games that you really want to play. That's for me, but that's what it does for me, because the whole thing with the games, that's how it started, the hobby. That's how I think it's logical, for me, because I first started, I was and I still am a gamer, and then I was a collector. So the collection thing started because of gaming. So there will be no purpose for me just to for me. I'm not saying for you. If you like collecting everything that is rare, and if you're that type of collector, that's fine. I'm just saying this to avoid this fear of missing out when you see something rare that you think that maybe you will play, but it was definitely not on your playlist, and you just, because it's rare, it gives you that fear of missing out. I'm just saying to you that maybe you should look at it from another perspective, from this perspective, like collect exactly what you think you will play. That's my take on it, and this helped me a lot. I had a lot of things in my collection that I didn't play, so I just sold those. So now they're easier to store. The collection is more curated, and the games that are there, even if I pull them from the shelf, a PS3 game or a PS2 game, and I look at the cover, I know that, look, wow, this is the Resident Evil 4 I played back in 2003 or 2004 when it came out. I don't know exactly when it came out, because it also it might be a delay when it came out because I'm living in Romania. So when I bought that, maybe it came before, in America, in USA, or in Europe. But when I look at the game, it brings up all those memories, all that nostalgia, like when I played the game. But if I take a game that I never played and I just bought it from eBay or from an online store, just because it was rare, it won't do anything for me. It won't stir up any emotion or nostalgia. So that's what I'm saying. You can collect only the things you know that you will play. That's one of the things to do to avoid the FOMO as well. So you can consider that perspective. Another concept that I found that is really good and it helped me out to reduce my FOMO was the opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost is thinking about what you can, from the money perspective, you can think about what you would have done with the money you spent on the game, even if it was on a sale. So you'll end up, maybe you'll with the same money, like for example, $60. Maybe you'll go to, you'll have a nice evening out with your girlfriend, or maybe you'll buy something else for you, like something for your bike or something for your car, or something. So what you think a bit before you spend the money, you think about what else would I do with this money. And also, this is an opportunity cost. So the money you spend on the game, you won't be able to spend on something else, or maybe on another game that you wanted to save up on, or another console. So you can think about it that way, in the perspective of the opportunity cost. And also, the final thing, there's the opportunity cost regarding the time you have. So maybe if you buy like a 40-hour story driven game, so maybe you don't have the time. You can think about it this way: you may ask yourself, do I have the time to play this in the near future, like in the next 2 weeks or in the next 3 weeks? If not, then what's the purpose in buying it right now? Just because it's on a sale. But don't worry about that, because there will be another sales, on Steam, on PlayStation Store, or anywhere else. Even if it's a rarer game, you'll find a way to buy it later on if you really want it. So don't fall into this FOMO trap that sellers or stores are trying to instill in you, that buy this thing now, or the sale won't be available. Don't worry, there will be another other sales. So these are the things. So to avoid this FOMO, and this fear of missing out, and it's a very comforting thought, to become more intentional about what we want to buy, about the games we want to buy. I mean, for example, for me now, I'm looking forward for the Resident Evil 9, for Resident Evil Requiem. So that's a game I'm saving up for because it's expensive as well. But besides that, I have all the games I want to play right now. So there's no rush, there's no urgency. Well, this is it about FOMO. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. And take care, guys.